What is up, Ravens flock? Welcome into another video. I'm Jordan with Ravens Flash Report, and I'm going to be giving you guys my recap and breakdown of the Ravens win this past Sunday evening over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Ravens win it 23-7, and it was the run game that dominated this game, and also it was flushing out Trevor Lawrence. It was also just putting pressure in the backfield, and even though there was some good coverage, there was also plenty of plays that were made by the Jacksonville Jaguars receivers, and we're going to get into that. So, starting out, we're with the offensive game stats. Lamar has a, by the numbers, underwhelming passing game, and by receiving numbers as well. Other than Isaiah Likely, really not too much standout performances by the receiving group. Bateman started out playing really well, but just didn't really do much for the rest of the game, unfortunately. Lamar does have one touchdown, one interception, sacked 3 times. The interception was a good play by the defender, but I also think, given the situation, Lamar maybe shouldn't have made that throw. I know it's quick, it's game pace, but he did have Isaiah Likely underneath. So, that's one that Lamar probably would want back. As far as rushing, this is where we dominated. Lamar leads the way, 12 attempts, 97 yards. Keaton Mitchell, 9 attempts, 73 yards. Edwards, 16 attempts, 58 yards, and a touchdown. And then Justice Hill following up with 5 attempts on 23 yards. Keaton Mitchell, big loss for the Ravens here. I was really looking forward to having his abilities in the playoffs, but now the focus is obviously his recovery, his recuperation, his mentals. So I hope that he's doing okay. He seemed like he was all right when he was being carted off, threw up the thumbs up, waving to the crowd. So I know this kid's mentally tough, and I he's gonna need it for this recovery process. It sucks, but hopefully he comes back healthy at the start of either the next training camp or start of the season, or if he needs to work his way back in. I hope they're just careful with him going forward, which they should be. So defensive stats, not a lot of standouts from a statistical point here, but that's how a lot of these games with low scores are. The Detroit game, the Seahawks game, there wasn't really one or two massively standout players. And I like that because that means everybody on the defensive side is doing their job, right? Kyle Hamilton, I was glad to see him out there. I worried, and I said in my other video, I didn't expect to see him, but I was worried that he might either re-aggravate it, and a lot of fans were, but it was good to see that he got out of there healthy. He still looked good. He led the team in tackles, had a nice tackle for loss, a nice pass defense. So he really had an excellent game. Everywhere else, it was just, again, it was just everybody doing their job. I thought Marlon Humphrey played really well coming off of a game that was not so great for him, so I thought he did a really good job on Ridley. Played him very physical, as we knew he would. Brandon Stevens, I thought he also had a very solid game. He gave up a couple of throws, but he didn't give up a lot, and that's what you're asking of these cornerbacks. Other than him, really not too much to talk about. Arthur Mollett, he picked up that fumble that Lawrence had along the sideline. Justin Matabike continues his streak, and he did have a lot of pressure in the backfield, along with Clowney and Owe. I saw them back there several times, and it was just a committee type of thing, but Matabike did have the sack. He continues his streak, like I said, so he's got 11 games in a row with at least half a sack, which ties an NFL record. He also has 12 sacks on the season, and we've got 3 games left, so we'll see what he can do. I don't know if he can get to 15, but that would be pretty cool. So let's get into the offensive players of the game for me, which shouldn't come as too much of a surprise because there really wasn't much action from a lot of others. Lamar Jackson, more so for his ground and what he can do from an elusive standpoint. I had a friend text me during the game who was basically saying a patient Lamar Jackson is the most dangerous Lamar Jackson. He's absolutely right. If Lamar Jackson has time in the pocket, or he is just decisive with when he breaks off for his runs, and if you're a Ravens fan, you know that look. When Lamar takes off, you automatically know, oh, this is at least going to be a first down. And that's how it was on that. I think it was like a 15-yard run was his biggest run. And you just knew as soon as he took off, it's like, okay, this is going to be a good run because he runs with such decisiveness, and it's excellent to see. We already spoke about Keaton Mitchell. Isaiah Likely, again, he just seems to be filling in for Mark Andrews so well. They don't have the same skill sets, which is fine by me. I like the diversity that he brings, but going up, high pointing the ball, catching the ball, using his body to box out guys was just excellent to see. And it's excellent that Lamar Jackson has seemingly such good chemistry with him so far. They haven't had too many issues with miscommunications or, just drops or anything like that. So it's been pretty relieving to see that given the situation with Mark Andrews. So, defensive players of the game, again, we talked about these guys beforehand, but Kyle Hamilton, great to see him out there. He was playing fast. He was playing, free. He didn't look like he was favoring anything, so that's great to see. Justin Madubuike, again, he continues his streak. And, this picture here that I have in the middle, I mean, that's from the intentional grounding one or almost safety. So, really just a huge disruptive force in the middle. And I don't know if we're going to be able to keep him after the season. I don't know if they're going to use franchise tag on him or what, but he's having an excellent season regardless. Marlon Humphrey, again, he had a really good day. I wanted to find I wanted to find that picture. I can't wait for the video to come out of him. Towards the end of the game, he made a huge hit to separate the ball, but really good play from him. I said in my video before, I loved how physical he is, and I knew that would be an asset to him going up against a speedy guy like Calvin Ridley. So, play of the game, again, shouldn't be too much of a surprise from an offensive standpoint. I did consider putting Keaton Mitchell's run to the outside, which I believe was a 24-yard run out to the left. But this play from both Lamar and Isaiah Likely, I only have the Likely catch over two defenders pictured here, but the escape from Lamar, not only to escape a sack, but then get out to the side and then take a hit while, again, right before throwing or right after throwing the ball, and Isaiah to go up, again, using his body, boxing out the defenders, making the catch, coming down with it. It was just excellent to see. And it was a relieving play. Again, every time he just chucks it up right before he gets hit, it's kind of a 50-50 anxiety, excitement type of feeling for me. So overall, it was a great win. It was great that we were able to clinch playoff berth. We go to San Francisco Christmas night. That's going to be the next game, and that is going to be a huge challenge. I mean, and I think the NFL is lucky, right? They're obviously, we knew the 49ers were going to be a good team, and we as Ravens fans believe the Ravens were going to be a good team and are. But to have the two very clear number one seeds in each of your division, I mean, I guess I shouldn't say very clear for the Ravens. They haven't played the Dolphins yet, but I mean, we have the best record, I'll say that. To have the two number one seeds go head to head Christmas night, it's got to be the NFL's dream, right? As far as a marketing and numbers and viewers. So, really excited about that game. I think it's going to be a defensive game. I think it's going to be a hard fought game. But we'll get into the preview a little bit later this week. Anyway, that's going to be it for me, guys. Tell me what you guys thought of the game. Tell me what your favorite play or favorite player of the game is in the comment section below.